Today is April the 2nd, 2014, and this is a Manual for Humanity. This is a revealing account of the world as it truly is, unclouded, uncovered, and clear. What is the true nature of personal and spiritual growth, personal relationships, and love? Why is morality and integrity so important, and why do the media dismiss them? What happens to humanity when morality and integrity are taken from society? Within are the disturbing techniques used by the elite to stare all humankind. Their plans for humanity are referenced and quoted in their own words. Who are the elite, and what do they have in store for you? What is their religion? What is their purpose? You need to know. This is a reading of Rituals, a supplemental essay to A Manual for Humanity. What is a ritual? Dictionaries hardly define the word at all. They give definitions that are vague, vacuous, and filled with words that say little. Distilling definitions from several dictionaries, we get a few points of note. Quote, pertaining to rites. Quote, the sacrifice of human beings as a religious rite. Unquote, though that isn't much to go by. The word rite, R-I-T-E, the root of the word ritual, is defined a little better. Here I present the best. Quote, a formal or ceremonial act or procedure prescribed or customary in religious or other solemn use, sacrificial rites, rites of initiation into a society, unquote, and so on, defining nothing yet padding heavily with empty words, though some be interesting, if only for other reasons. Neville Drury's Dictionary of Mysticism and the Occult fares a little better with, quote, a prescribed form of religious or magical ceremony, often designed to invoke or placate a deity. Rituals are characterized by symbolic attire and formalized behavior, and may involve imitating the deity in a ceremonial context in order to obtain supernatural power, spiritual illumination, or other specific blessings from the god who is worshipped. Unquote. Resorting to etymology, you'll find that rite is, quote, cognate with Greek arithmos number and Old High German rim, row, sequence, number, unquote. Dictionaries present only slivers. In supplementation, I say that a ritual is the precise replication of a past event, idealized and perfected to bring about a highly desired result with the greatest possible accuracy, to be repeated when necessary. The elite watch and record everything, so the whole concept of a ritual and the basics involved in it fits their personality to a T. I'll break down the word ritual into syllables. Rit, you, all. Reinstituting the long I makes the meaning of ritual a bit less clouded, keeping in mind that there are several different spellings of the word rite, R-I-G-H-T being another. Ritual now becomes rite, you, all. The descriptive significance of this variation cannot be denied, and it should make you wonder about the real meanings of words and how they are formed. Expand on this variation, and you can make a more revealing statement. Get it right, you all. In other words, don't muff it up. Be precise. The populace at large believes that ritual has two meanings. This is the dialectic at work. For more on the dialectic, read Volume 1 of A Manual for Humanity, The Basics. The public, and most likely you too, believe that there is one type of ritual that the establishment perform that is acceptable, innocuous, and mundane. Examples of this would be the installation of a monarch, prime minister, president, etc., church rituals, and the like. The people also believe that there is a second type of ritual that Satan worshippers and their ilk carry out to curry favor with their god or gods. Let me be clear. There is only one meaning to the word ritual, and all rituals of significance are done to gain favor from a god or gods, whether you understand it or not. The favor curried may occur in the short term or in the long term. Once you understand that, an artificially created mental barrier will start to fade, and some additional truths will come to you. When the elite want to prevent the public from recognizing or figuring out some thing that they have done or are going to do that will not be in the public's best interest, they blindside the people using devious and unknown techniques like hiding it in plain sight. But relevant to topic, the rich operating via their front, the establishment, perform a ritual on the children. If they get it right, these children will grow up never being able to recognize or accept what has been done to them. They will not even want to seriously consider it when it has been revealed to them. Thus they will be fooled for the rest of their lives. Such a technique can only work with the willful cooperation of the people. It cannot be forced on you, but you can be seduced into accepting it, and you can be conned into allowing this to be done to your children. In one such technique, the elite create fairy tales. Fairies are not real, remember. There's your first clue. No one will take a fairy tale to be real. They often have a moral to the story, but that is just to pacify the parent. It is the sugar to help the medicine go down. Heaven and hell are good examples of concepts that have been presented with a cartoon image. God and the devil are two more. The rich having given up dictatorial rule over their subjects to become the benefactors of the people is another. Demonic or spiritual possession is two. All of these have been played down and oversimplified so that the listeners will never take them seriously. Yet the root of these things are very real. It is not a question of if they exist, but of what they are. Like most concepts in life, these have a literal meaning and an allegorical meaning. The superficial or childlike version is given the direct or literal meaning, and the adult or real definition is given through allegory. We've been given childlike cartoon images of all of this, yet all of them are real, and you can see that for yourself if you can exercise the false images of them that have been placed inside of your mind and look at them all from a fresh perspective with baggage ejected. All of these things that I mentioned do exist, but not in the way that you now know them, and not in the way that you have been told about them. And what they really are will never be handed to you through state propaganda while you sit on your couch, chips in one hand and pop in the other, both hands having become sinister. Once a child has gone through these rituals, they will never be able to take the subject matter seriously. These children, now adults, will have forever in their minds a childlike version of reality, a childlike version of heaven, hell, good, evil, government, conspiracy, charity, choices, demons, angels, mind control, etc., and a childlike version of the establishment. Santa Claus is another one being based on a reality from our past that you know nothing about. Let us dwell on the example of the installation of a monarch. The ritual that the elite go through in this process is used not because it has been done forever back through the past, though this be also true. Rather, it has been done for generations because history has shown that the kings who are installed using this ritual tend to live longer, stay in power longer, live healthier and more prosperous lives, and their rule benefits those that surround and handle the monarch. You can break the ritual down into its basic components and study them, which can help a person to understand why a particular ritual is used in any given situation, and then they can also understand why it works. Everyone participating in a ritual must execute their role precisely. Timing is everything. The ritual will fail without it. The more serious the subject matter of the ritual, the more important the timing. This can be compared to the way that bookies know precisely what to include and what to exclude when determining odds. And the best bookies can give odds for anything. Just so, the masters of ritual know exactly what to place into the ritual in order to make it work. As I have said, rituals are precisely timed. That is why the cadence of the voice of the one who is administering the ritual must be precise. If the cadence were not there, timing would be off and the ritual ruined. The more precise the execution, the better the results. The astute observer of coronal installation rituals will notice that only a portion of the ritual is viewable by the public. Other parts are held in secret. Often, the announcer will indicate this. One must ask, why? Privacy is not the issue. Obviously, this is not a definitive explanation of ritual, and neither is it meant to be. There is too much to cover. But what this is an offering of insight into some of the hidden things that make up a ritual, in hopes of inciting thought and analysis of what is going on in a ritual, and how common they are, the average person being subjected to them far more often than they are aware of. Magic